Hey guys, welcome back to Flat Creek Outdoors. I'm Phil. Today we are going to go grab some of the logs that were left behind by the recent excavation project we had here on the property. Just the other day, we split here on the Wolford splitter. I had a pile of rounds over here on the ground. There's just a couple of them left, and we did an hour's worth of splitting. Had a nice big pile over here. There's only a little bit left. I got most of it stacked. I had a couple logs over there that I didn't get around to sawing on. So I've started to cut them up there on the ground here, and those two that are over there still are oak. I'm going to go through all of the not oak stuff that I have. I've got a lot of maple, a lot of elm, a little bit of poplar, some gum, maybe one or two other species of less dense hardwoods that I want to get through the splitter and get stacked all at the same time. So we're going to head on over to the pile now, that one of the piles that was left behind from the excavation project. And if you don't know what I'm talking about with the recent excavation project, I'll put a link in this video's description. I gave kind of a whole overview of what we had done. It's a good little project that's going to give some improved access to certain parts of our property. So we'll drive over there now on the tractor, and we will grab a few of these logs. We'll bring them back here, buck them up, get us a nice big pile here, and then get splitting on it. So that creek crossing you saw me drive over is part of the excavation project. That's the smaller creek crossing that we had put in. There's another one about 100 yards behind the camera. That's a much larger one. But these are all smaller diameter trees that came out of that spot. It looks to be like it's mostly maple, a little bit of elm, and I think that's all I see in here. And I figured what we do is just get these down into reasonable lengths, maybe like 8 or 9 pieces of firewood, and grab a big clump full of those with the grapple, take those logs up, we'll buck them up, and we'll repeat until this is all done and we've got a nice sized pile up there by the splitter. All right, got a bunch of rounds on the ground. Now there's still some logs back in that same stack I was picking from, but I'm just too ADD with this kind of stuff. So I want to blow this through the splitter, and then I'll show you the couple other piles of logs that I got around the property. Let me take a second to say thanks to you new subscribers who recently joined. There's been hundreds of you in the past month, and we are on a great growth trend here. So thank you, thank you, thank you. If you haven't already, give this video a like. That helps the channel, and that helps us get exposure to other people who might like similar kinds of videos. So I appreciate it. So that was just a half an hour on the hour meter. I think it was the actual splitting time was probably closer to 40 minutes, but that's where the hour meter said. I started at 9.0 and it's at 9.5, so half hour worth of splitting. Got all those rounds done. It's not a huge pile compared to what I did the other day where I did the little 1 hour test a couple days ago. This pile I would probably say is a little bit more than half. Would that make sense? I split for about half the time, so that is what it is. Here's where I started to stack some of that stuff that I split the other day. So there's already, what, 2 pallets on the ground here, and there's 4 rows deep of the stuff that I split the other day. Plus there was a little bit of that still on the ground over here next to the splitter when I started splitting today. So I've got to stack all that. I think once that's added to the pile, it should be well over a cord sitting over there. And then I've got just lots more. I told you I was going to show you, so let me grab the four-wheeler and I'll go show you all the logs that I've got piled up around the property that I'll get to work on here in the upcoming weeks. Well, here's the first pile. Looks like more maple and elm, mostly maple. And that one right on top there is really big. This one here closest to us is probably about 10, 11 inches in diameter. So a couple good sized logs, the rest of it small like that other stuff. All right, and then look at all of this. Looking around, this looks like might be 100% maple. That second tree back there, that's the biggest one that I see. Looks like it's maybe around 9-10 inches. Everything else in here is smaller, but there's a lot stacked up here. And a couple trunks over there. See if there's anything bigger. Might be a little bit of bigger stuff down underneath these tops. So we've got a lot of work to do to clean that up, but there's a lot of wood in this pile, that's for sure. And then next up, I'll show you some trees that I've taken down that I didn't do anything with yet. A couple videos ago, I took down this big poplar and that gum. That's some firewood. Some of that poplar I'm going to send off to a guy with a mill and turn that into something usable for some upcoming projects. I've got that stack of logs over there from some of this work that I've done clearing up this field edge, and then there's 2 trees over there that are smaller, but they are oak, and they'll get added to the inventory as well. So nice little stack of logs for me anyway. I am not used to having inventory just sitting here, log pile sitting here that I can work from, but that's what I'm starting to accumulate, and I feel pretty good about that. Hopefully I'll be able to get some inventory in here soon from some tree clearing companies or land clearing companies who can just bring it in by the dump truck load or the dump trailer load or the log truck load. However I can get it, I will take it. I've put lots of offers out there telling people that I want that kind of stuff and I'm willing to pay for it. So hopefully some of that shows up here soon and we'll have a nice pile to pick from as we grow this firewood business. But thanks for spending a little bit of time with me, guys. I will catch you on the next one. See you later.